Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys out there in the viewerverse, I'm going to be doing some speculation on this emoji. Yes, because I went around the meetup and asked loads of people what they thought it might mean, but this is what I think it might mean. So it's a waving emoji. If you haven't seen the emoji, now I've been banging on about these things, these sort of like boundary failures for some time. Now, when you head on over to these boundary failures, you kind of break the fourth wall, and it kind of moves into this kind of endgamey type stuff. But let me just jump off the screen for a second. So when you interact with these things, the terminal blinks and awaits input. Download data. It says error. Atlas, error, error, error. They see you. Like, hello, we see you. You know, so maybe it is a little bit of a hello there. Now, inside of the abandoned systems is where you're going to find these. You're also going to find them on exotic planets. But while we're inside of an abandoned system, let's just go on up to an abandoned station, shall we, and fly on in. Now, as you're flying towards the space station, you're going to see it's rather discombobulated. It actually says Speculating, which is very curt and wrong. But as you fly into this, something rather curious happens. And I've been banging on about this for freaking eons now. So let's go on in, and I'll show you something rather odd indeed. I mean, these stations are very sort of broken to shite, been blown up and abandoned. But look at the screen. It says welcome home. Doesn't say that when you fly into other stations. Again, another hello, welcome home. I am wondering whether these abandoned areas of space might become Atlanted areas of space, and maybe home to either the autophage or perhaps even a fifth race. You know, there's five digits to a hand, and at the moment we haven't really got 5 races per se. I mean, we are an anomaly or traveller, but I'm not going to count the anomaly or traveller. I'm going by the known races out there that are NPC driven. We've got Korvax, Gek, Viking, autophage, and I'm wondering whether we might get a new race. You see all this slime and organic stuff that's just stacked about in these places. I'm wondering whether we might get a living race, a living organic race. I mean, Hello Games were tweaking one of the eyes in one of the actual characters, and it caused a bit of a bug that they had to fix. And the actual visage was one of the horrific type looking organic faces. So why bother tweaking something that you haven't touched since Halloween, like God knows how long ago? It's a tainted metal object. Very odd indeed. So I think we might be getting something happen with these abandoned areas of space, and I think they might be home to a very new race. Perhaps a fifth race. A fifth race! Now, chums, we have had Atlas stations for some time. Now, during one of the latter quest lines that we had, during Echoes or Singularity or something along those lines, we actually ventured into one of these red Atlas stations. We slathered it with Atlanteum, and the whole thing went purple. And we actually got the actual words of the Void Mother come through inside of here, rather than that of the Atlas. It sort of got hijacked for a moment by the Void Mother. I'm wondering whether some of those abandoned areas of space that I mentioned earlier might get Atlas stations, and if they do, they might be Atlanted Atlas stations. Yeah, the Atlanted, the Void Mother, and they'll just be just like this inside, but perhaps they will be purple, and perhaps I'd have different missions, different objectives, maybe a way to save the universe rather than purge it and reset it all the freaking time. So there is that. Now, inside of my comments and messages, I've had quite a lot of people feeding back to me about what it could be. One of those people was Skymasters, and Skymasters says, well, it is an open palm. During the Remembrance lore, as the Atlas was fading and the simulation coming to an end, the creator pressed their hand against the glass and then gave them a copy of themselves. So perhaps it's got something to do with the end of the Atlas simulation and the rise of the Void Mother, or the rise of a new simulation. And considering that the developer says that they're going off to make a new simulation, something perhaps better and greater than that of the simulation of No Man's Sky and the Atlas, it could be a nod towards the third wall and to perhaps Hello Games releasing something around Light No Fire rather than No Man's Sky. But at this point in time, people, I would say No Man's Sky is well overdue a content sort of update. Also, that said, Hello Games has reached out to content creators such as myself, and they have asked us to make videos for No Man's Sky. The chums, they gave us until the 27th to get the videos over for approval with Hello Games. And once I got mine over and got approved, they said I could put it live. But the cut-off date was the 27th of August, which falls on a Wednesday. And we all know that Hello Games likes to put out updates on a Wednesday. So I think it could be on the cards, and it could be on the cards somewhere still quite soon. I have seen a lot of people saying that they feel it is a waving goodbye to No Man's Sky and a hello to Light No Fire, as I just mentioned. However, Sean of the Murrays posted this emoji on the No Man's Sky Twitter feed. He didn't post it on the Light No Fire Twitter feed. So there's that. I think it was Light No Fire related. He would have retweeted it over there. Now Sean has retweeted the wave emoji times 3. There's 3 of them now. I used to think that means there's 3 sleeps to go. Now I kind of feel that it could mean that we're getting a content update, an expedition, and also patch notes. So it's going to be a large marked update. I think it's going to be a large marked update for a completely different reason anyway. Let's just jump on over to the Tinterwebs and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, chums, so we're on version 5.75 Beacon. Now, a lot of the time it jumps from like the 7.5 marker or 7.6 all the way up to its next integer, which would be version 6. Worlds Part 1 was version 5. Worlds Part 2 was version 5.5. Both of those have been big updates. If this does jump to version 6, this is going to be one of the bigger noteworthy updates. It could be some sort of overhaul. It's like the next update was one of these incremental updates, you know? So I kind of feel if we see the Gib emoji from Shaun of the Murrays, perhaps it is going to be something quite large. But I feel that it is going to be dropping around the 27th. Now, it might drop this week. Why am I saying it might drop this week? Because the sales have started, chums. Yes, let me show you the sales. Okay, now I said that the sales have started. Doesn't say that they've concluded. I mean, here we go. Look, we've got this one over here. It says £24. This is over on Xbox, and it's going to last for 6 days. 6 days doesn't quite butter the turnips, does it? All the way up to next Wednesday, the 27th. But it definitely covers this week. It's a bit odd, because it's going to fall short by 1 day of my reckoning of when the update's going to drop. So I kind of feel that perhaps we might see a trailer this week and then the update the week after, because you'll see the trailer, jump over to Xbox, buy it, wouldn't you? Or at least I think that's what might happen. But it's a little bit odd that it ends in 6 days. I would have imagined it to have gone on a bit longer. A little bit in line with what I'm seeing over on Steam, to be honest. This one ends on the 8th of September, 60% off, lovely jubbly. And look at that, there is also a sale on all the other bundles like Joe Danger and things like that. I'm going to be logging in on Steam, and I'm probably going to pick up Joe Danger and bring it to my channel. I've played Last Campfire, I've played No Man's Sky. I might as well go for the full medley and pick up Joe Danger, help support the channel, and also see what it's like. Right, over on PlayStation there is no sale as yet. I'd imagine that's going to probably end, perhaps even before this video goes live. So go check out the PlayStation, go and have a look at the date. I want to see if that date exceeds that of the Xbox and whether it comes closer to Steam. I wonder whether the Xbox date might be the odd one out. Talking of odd one out, we've got Nintendo Switch, and this is always the odd one out. It's always the last to do anything, the Nintendo Switch, but that's still full price over there. So the PlayStation, Nintendo, not quite reflecting sales. Not quite showing the message, is it really? Anyway, over in game, there's another telltale sign of when an update could be due. Okay, chums, so another denotion of time is this bar above Johnny Five's Quicksilver store, and you can see there that it's almost completed. Now, if I look at the Quicksilver items, it's saying there's 80% completed going by this bar, and that would unlock this. So I'm thinking that as soon as this unlocks, which probably would even before the weekend. Something might start happening on the old Twitterverse. It may happen before then, in fact. But yeah, I think when this comes to an end or gets concluded, we're probably going to see some sort of update happen inside of No Man's Sky is where I'm going with this, chums. Now, inside the Quicksilver store, there is also something that might be a hint at what we might get to see. So, I mentioned about the boundary failures, and I've mentioned about the whole abandoned systems and the fact that Hello Games messed about with one of the visages from the Tainted metal dealer. Well, there's also this helmet that we got that goes with the ship that I'm flying, the UFO type looking ship. And this is a biological type looking race, and it's quite a beautiful looking race at that. We've also got the chitin race, which is like the bug race, which again could fit into the same category as organic. So I'm kind of wondering whether we're going to get this thing happen. We've also got this anomaly seal, and we've also got these jellyfish. These jellyfish were appearing just out of nowhere. Hello! Kaboom! Jellyfish in the Cursed Expedition, and they haven't put that inside of the game as yet. We had these vials that we could actually trigger to sort of like decrease the time. I kind of feel that we might see these weird jellyfish make a return into game inside of abandoned systems. That's what I'm thinking, chums. I'm also hoping, this is a hope more than something speculating on the old wavy type thing. We've got Ariadne over here. There's a load of lore tied to Ariadne. And Ariadne that we have here is actually an imposter. And the Void Mother can see through their eyes. Hello, says the Void Mother. I'm wondering, you know, like when you go into the Atlas station, you talk to the Atlas for the first time. The Atlas actually says, "Hello world," in text. I'm thinking that we might go inside of one of these purple Atlas stations, and the first thing the Atlantid might say is, "Hello world," you know? It could be that. But anyway, I'm going to teleport up here because there's also an autophage robot up here, which is very sort of, well, it's not organic. It's weird, isn't it? Look at it. It's freaking strange. It's like cybernetic. It's got nothing organic about it, in fact, people. This thing's got 4 legs. I can't make it 5 in any way, shape or form. But it hasn't got hands to wave. It's got pointy things. So I can't even go for that for speculation. But I do think that this thing is going to give us some sort of raids into the realm of glass or into the void or something. I mean, it can't just sit there redundantly and do nothing. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, it just feels pointless. I think it needs some points. It needs to be less pointless. Yes. Anyway, so this is my shippity ship over here. There's a giant UFO. And inside the patch notes when this was given, it said the first of our saucer ships, which to me kind of hints that we might see more of these saucer type ships. And that could mean maybe a new race to go with them. So we're back at square one, people, where I was saying perhaps a new organic race inside of abandoned systems. Chums, I think we've been having breadcrumbs and clues left in all of the lore. In fact, we was told by Sean of the Murray that there'd be 4 parts to an arc for the Void Mother. We've already had 3 of those completed. We're still missing the 4th. And I honestly think that this might be the 4th. When you look at the time of year, we're just about to tickle over into the old September, which is a month before Halloween. Now, if I head on over to the actual Tainted metal vendor, let me show you the visage that I was on about inside of here. Well, this is it right here. Sadly, when I hover over it, a bigger picture doesn't appear, but it's the horrific flesh helmet. The horrific flesh helmet, Hello Games was tweaking it, and the eyeball went sort of jet black or bright red or something. It went squiffy. They had to fix it inside of a recent patch note. Why touch it when it sat there dormant for such a long time is the question that I've got, I guess. Another query that I have is these station overrides that when you feed them into this console right now, it just says glass, 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 glass. Here we go. Let me stick one in. Input counterfeit. Input station override, I should say. But it says counterfeit code detected. Access denied. I was getting ahead of myself. Glass, 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 glass. And yeah. Now, the first time that we interacted with these station cores, it said that the Void Mother could see us. Again, hello, I can see you. So I kind of feel that perhaps the whole wave emoji might be linked to the Void Mother. Oh, well, hello there, chum. Now, you just saw that Gek wave to me. I just waved back to this Gek. Multiplayer, one of the first emotes that we have is the wave emoji. A lot of people are speculating that it might just be a complete overhaul to multiplayer. And they could be right. They could be right. It could be a massive overhaul to multiplayer. I mean, let's face it, we freaking need it. It'd be nice if we could have an overhaul to multiplayer, but I kind of feel that should come in anyway, because that's more of a fix than an update or an upgrade or whatever. It's a fix, you know? So anyway, people, that's pretty much all the speculation that I have for you, I think. Actually, chums, no, I do have just a tad more. A tad more. So I've been away, as you know. Now, I did go around everybody at at the actual meetup and ask them what they feel the emoji meant. There's 23 minutes of speculation right there, people. Go and hit that up. But a lot of the things that they said was also said in my comments in some of the posts that I did before I actually set off. So this is something that I've been reading a load of people's comments before I went anyway, and I've had 313 votes, and 39% of people think that it's goodbye to the last update of No Man's Sky and hello to Light No Fire. I think they're expecting to see some sort of trailer or something for Light No Fire, and maybe one final crescendo update to No Man's Sky. Wave, update to water, mega waves, or microwaves, or whatever waves. Sound waves even. I've had all of it. I think if it was going to be sound waves, Sean probably would have used a note or something like that. I think if it was going to be water waves, like tidal waves or something, he would have used a tidal wave emoji. There's better emojis to use. I think this wave could be some sort of signal. It could be tied to the autophage. Also, we did actually follow the void ships using a melody. But again, I think he would have used a note for that or some sort of musical instrument. I don't think he would have used a hand gesture. I think the hand gesture is quite an important one. I mean, when you want to welcome somebody, you go, hello. I think we're going to be welcoming the Void Mother, or I think we're going to be welcomed to these abandoned stations to make them our home, since it says welcome home. Well, I've been banging on about that for some time, to be fair. There's somebody in my comments reminded me of it just the other day as well. It was amongst all of the comments that I've had. Sorry, I can't recall who actually posted it. But anyway, Light No Fire, the hand from Light No Fire that's holding the torch, but it is actually a clenched fist. It's not a waving one, is it? Actually, it's something like that, isn't it? But it's not a waving hand. So I don't see that myself. But I thought I'd mention it because a lot of people had. And look, it got 9% of the votes, so people think it's a thing. I think Jason Plays, I watched his video, I think he said he feels that it could be something to do with water, maybe making it more interesting under the waves or something. I think if they were to do something with water, it'd be nice if they added icebergs on freaking frost planets and lily pads and other things like debris on the surface and stuff. But yeah, I can't see that happening. Or if it does, I don't think it's going to be a major update. I don't think it's version 6.0. Lily pads update, you know, I just don't think it's going to happen, people. I think the actual name of the update might be something like Awakenings or Arrivals or something like that, you know, because hello Void Mother, you know. So anyway, let's scroll on down. So here we go. We've got other ideas I've seen that make sense for the emoji for a name for the update. Do you like any of these? No Man's Sky waveform for Ray Reynolds. Yes, it could be a waveform, but again, I mentioned about the musical note emojis. No Man's Sky signal, Ray Reynolds' idea again. There are others that you could probably use for a signal, like maybe, you know, little flags or anything really, arrows pointing either direction. I don't know, like little signposts. But I don't know. I do like both of those. And Ray Reynolds Signals has got 40% of the vote. It could be that. It could be that. I mean, you guys are usually better at this than me, to be fair. No Man's Sky Awakenings was my own idea. Awakenings or Arrivals, something along those lines. I mean, the Void Mother is either going to awake or she's going to arrive, isn't she? I mean, there's probably other things. That's embarkation, I don't know. No, but there's others, perhaps, tangents of that. You could probably go into a thesaurus and get a load of others. But No Man's Sky Rebooted is another idea. I was wondering whether, you know, the Void Mother might allow us to reboot the system. And maybe on reboot, maybe all of those abandoned systems come into life and they're all like voidy type planets with those jellyfish and autophage dwelling there and perhaps even a new organic race. And we might get sense of where these living ships came from, and we might even get living freighters. So that's kind of all my speculation done and dusted. I would go inside of these comments, but what I would say is if you just hit up that video that I've done on the actual community where I'm walking around talking to everybody, virtually everything that's said inside of the comments is also echoed inside of their sentiments. So yeah, be sure to pop on over and take a look at that video. I'll put a link on the end card. I'll put a link up here if I can remember. And let's jump back on over and we'll say goodbye properly, shall we? So yeah, people, I am thoroughly excited. I think something is due to happen. And I think it's going to happen because we've got the sales all happening now. I don't think it can quite happen until the sales are on at least PlayStation. I mean, we've seen updates go live and the sale hasn't been on Nintendo Switch. That's nothing odd. That's nothing unusual. But I think to see an update to the price on PlayStation is kind of like waving the flag to go. You know, 3, 2, 1, go! So that's what I'm waiting for now. If that happens today, we might see an update tomorrow. If it doesn't happen today and it doesn't happen tomorrow, I don't think we're going to see the update until next Tuesday or Wednesday. That's just my thoughts and feelings. Sound up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And do you think I might be onto something with all this sort of emoji speculation? I just see all the breadcrumbs pointing to the void mother. And really what I've kind of done is try to make the emoji make sense to what I want to see appear inside a game. And that's probably not the best way to do speculation. Anyway, people, yeah, there's a lot of other speculation videos out there. I really enjoyed Beeble's. I've really enjoyed Jason's. I've seen Professor Cynical's. There's a lot of speculation videos out there. Sorry if I've missed anyone, but be sure and hit me up if anyone else has done one that's caught your eye. Until next time, goodbye, and goodbye again.